What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my Godzilla comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Godzilla Escape the Deadzone, issue number 3. This one is written by Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan, with artwork by Pablo Tunica, letters and design by Nathan Whittick, and editor Jake Williams. So, in the last issue of Godzilla Escape the Deadzone, we had the Wanderer and the two kids, I think Glass Eater and Runts were their names that they chose for themselves, were escaping the Church of Godzilla, the cult that wants to utilize, that we come to find out wants to utilize these kids to unite with Godzilla and bring about the complete destruction of humanity. So the Wanderer, on impulse, just kind of took the kids out. Like, there's something about it, like, okay, this isn't right. They're in a danger from this cult and all that. Let me go ahead and take them out further into the Deadzone to escape the Church of Godzilla before something bad happens to them, even though there's a major risk, because the further you go into the Deadzone, the more dangerous it is. So we're getting a little bit more world building in this thing. We find out that the kids, like when he rescued them, they actually were just having a little bit of a scuffle, and they're able to control kaiju and kind of fuse with them, kind of like an Attack on Titan sort of way. But when he found them, it was just them having a sibling scuffle. So even then, like, bonding with them can oftentimes kill the kaiju. So the Church of Godzilla wants to use these kids basically as a weapon of sorts to bring about the destruction of humanity. There's a bit of an anti-Messiah sort of angle of it. We get a bit of a Kumanga bit right here. There's some heavy profanity in this thing, so that's a plus. It's kind of nice to read a Godzilla comic book that says fuck a lot, so I appreciate that. They bond with this Kumanga thing, and they make their way to a cave. Now, we've seen stories like this before. We're also getting flashes to these like bodies, like these skeletons, and I'm partially wondering if they're just the stuff the Wanderer is flashing back to you. Maybe he lost his kids or something, and perhaps maybe these kids are actually his, because it's kind of left a little vague and maybe hinted at that might be the case, or I might be fully off. Also, it's nice to actually get a quick appearance from Godzilla, and well, a Godzilla comic book, I know, like, that should be expected, but he really hasn't appeared in the first two issues outside of maybe like a brief thing. But he's there. He's in the middle of the Deadzone. They kind of look at him like in complete awe and majesty, but they go back to the cave and all that too. And now we've seen stuff like this where kind of a gruff loner type guy takes a kid under his wing and forms like a found family sort of bond there. We've seen this kind of storytelling trope kind of done in other things, but it's usually one I'm kind of a sucker for, especially somebody who's kind of hardened and you have somebody there to kind of uplift him a little bit. But in this case, he's trying to like take kids from, you know, this cult and find them someplace safe, and maybe they'll form a connection and he won't want to let them go. And, you know, we've seen this type of storytelling done, but it's done so with a half man, half kaiju in a Godzilla setting. So it kind of works for the most part for me. And issue ends with them getting ready to like go off into the Deadzone further and find their way amongst things. And it looks like in the next issue, they're going to find a giant girl and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff going on there. So yeah, a little bit more interesting information about the kids and why the church wants them so badly, and a bit more about the Wanderer, who also doesn't have a name. The kids' names they chose for themselves, so who knows what their actual names are, and who knows, maybe the Wanderer actually is like their parent or something. So we don't know his full backstory and all that. I'm keen to know more. Perhaps the Deadzone resurrected them or something and morphed them into what they are now. So a lot of questions and a lot of intrigue going forward. So, and we get an appearance from a baby Kumanga and all that too. So some good stuff in here for sure. I think it is an improvement over the previous two issues, mostly because there's some pauses for character moments, and we actually get a Godzilla brief appearance in there as well. So is it the best of the Kai-Sei Era books? I don't know. Like, I think this one has a bit more of an intriguing premise in some ways than the other two. But Starship Godzilla only got issue 1, so I gotta wait to see how that plays out a little bit more. And the Kai-Sei Era book, there's a few things going on that I kind of like, but it's different too. So I'm curious to see how these worlds all ultimately kind of clash with one another. Maybe there's a big event that brings it all together or something. Who knows? But we're getting more of the world building, and that's what you want to see in stuff like this. So yeah. But anyways, those are my quick thoughts on it. What did you all think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all the fun stuff. And I got one more video I want to be talking about, and then I should be all set. All right, well, that's all I have to say. Thanks so much for watching. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.